Acceptance is one of the most fundamental yet challenging steps toward achieving inner peace. Many of us spend a significant portion of our lives resisting circumstances that we cannot change. We ruminate over past mistakes, obsess over lost opportunities, or worry endlessly about things beyond our control. This resistance only breeds frustration, anxiety, and inner turmoil. True acceptance does not mean resignation or complacency. It means recognizing and embracing reality as it is, rather than how we wish it to be. Life is inherently unpredictable, filled with joys and sorrows, victories and setbacks. By accepting this duality, we become better equipped to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. Acceptance allows us to stop fighting battles that cannot be won and instead focus on what we can control: our mindset, reactions, and choices. One powerful aspect of acceptance is learning to embrace imperfections, both in ourselves and in others. None of us is perfect, and expecting perfection only leads to disappointment. Accepting our flaws does not mean settling for mediocrity. It means acknowledging where we are right now while working toward growth without harsh self-judgment. When we extend this same acceptance to others, we build healthier, more compassionate relationships. Another essential component of acceptance is coming to terms with the past. Regret and guilt can weigh heavily on our hearts, keeping us trapped in a cycle of negative emotions. But the past is unchangeable, no matter how much we wish it were different. The key is to learn from those experiences, forgive ourselves, and move forward with renewed wisdom. Acceptance also applies to the future. While it's natural to plan and set goals, life doesn't always unfold according to our expectations. Accepting uncertainty allows us to approach the future with flexibility and an open mind. When we release the need for complete control, we discover a newfound sense of peace and adaptability. In practice, acceptance requires conscious effort. Mindfulness exercises, journaling, and even simple affirmations like "I release what I cannot change" can help cultivate this mindset. Acceptance is not a one-time decision, but a continuous practice of choosing peace over resistance. Letting go of control is one of the most liberating but difficult lessons we can learn in life. We are often conditioned to believe that controlling every aspect of our lives is the key to success and happiness. We meticulously plan our careers, relationships, and even leisure activities, expecting everything to go according to our expectations. However, life has a way of defying our best-laid plans. Unexpected challenges, sudden losses, and unforeseen circumstances can disrupt our carefully crafted narratives, leaving us feeling frustrated and anxious. The desire for control stems from a need for certainty and security. We believe that if we can predict and manipulate outcomes, we can protect ourselves from pain and disappointment. But this is an illusion. No amount of planning or micromanaging can shield us from the unpredictability of life. In fact, the constant struggle to control everything often leads to stress, exhaustion, and strained relationships. Letting go of control does not mean becoming passive or indifferent to life's challenges. It means recognizing the difference between what we can influence and what is beyond our reach. We can control our actions, attitudes, and responses, but we cannot dictate how other people behave, how events unfold, or how the universe operates. When we focus on what is within our power and release the need to manage everything else, we experience a profound sense of freedom and peace. One powerful way to practice letting go of control is to cultivate trust. Trust in ourselves, in the natural flow of life, and in a higher power if we believe in one. Trust allows us to accept that even when things don't go as planned, they may lead to unexpected growth or opportunities. Many people can recall times when an unforeseen event, though initially painful, ultimately led to positive changes or new beginnings. Another essential aspect of letting go is learning to release rigid expectations. When we become attached to specific outcomes, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Instead, adopting a mindset of curiosity and openness can help us navigate life with greater ease. Rather than asking, why didn't things go my way? We can ask, what can I learn from this experience? This shift in perspective fosters resilience and inner peace. Mindfulness practices can also support the process of letting go. When we remain present in the moment, we are less likely to become fixated on controlling the future. Meditation, deep breathing exercises, and journaling are effective tools for grounding ourselves and releasing tension. Visualization techniques, where we imagine physically letting go of a burden, can also be powerful reminders that we don't need to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. Finally, letting go often involves forgiveness, both of ourselves and others. We may hold on to resentment because we believe that doing so gives us control over a situation or person. But in reality, holding on to anger only binds us to the pain of the past. Forgiving doesn't mean condoning hurtful behavior. It means choosing to free ourselves from the emotional grip of those experiences. By letting go of control, we create space for new possibilities, relationships, and experiences. We discover that life doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful, and that our peace is not dependent on external circumstances, but on our ability to surrender gracefully to the flow of life. Mindfulness and presence are essential practices for cultivating inner peace in our fast-paced, constantly connected world. At its core, mindfulness is the art of being fully present in the current moment, without judgment or distraction. It is the opposite of living on autopilot, where our thoughts are either consumed by regrets about the past or anxieties about the future. True peace can only be found here and now, because the present moment is the only moment we ever truly have. In today's world, distractions are endless. Our smartphones ping with notifications. Social media feeds vie for our attention, and work demands often extend beyond office hours. These constant distractions pull us away from the richness of the present moment, creating a perpetual state of restlessness. Mindfulness offers an antidote to this modern-day chaos by teaching us how to anchor ourselves in the here and now. Practicing mindfulness can take many forms, from formal meditation to simple everyday activities. Mindful breathing, for instance, is a powerful way to center ourselves. By paying attention to each breath, the sensation of air entering and leaving our nostrils, or the rise and fall of our abdomen, we can quiet the mind and find a sense of calm. Even just a few minutes of mindful breathing can reduce stress and increase clarity. Mindful eating is another valuable practice. Rather than rushing through meals while scrolling on our phones or watching TV, we can savor each bite, noticing the flavors, textures, and aromas of our food. This not only enhances our enjoyment of meals, but also fosters a deeper appreciation for the nourishment we receive. Mindfulness can also be integrated into daily routines, such as walking, showering, or even doing household chores. The key is to bring full awareness to whatever we are doing, without letting the mind wander. When washing dishes, for example, we can focus on the warmth of the water, the sensation of the soap, and the sound of running water. These seemingly mundane moments become opportunities for peace and presence. Another important aspect of mindfulness is observing our thoughts without becoming attached to them. The human mind generates a constant stream of thoughts, many of which are negative, repetitive, or unhelpful. Through mindfulness, we learn to witness these thoughts as passing clouds rather than getting caught up in their stories. This practice creates mental space and helps us respond to situations with greater wisdom and composure. The benefits of mindfulness extend beyond mental and emotional well-being. Numerous studies have shown that mindfulness practices can reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression, lower blood pressure, and improve sleep quality. Furthermore, mindfulness enhances our relationships by making us more attentive, empathetic, and less reactive to conflicts. One of the most significant challenges people face when starting a mindfulness practice is the misconception that the mind must be completely still. In reality, the mind will naturally wander, especially in the beginning. The goal is not to eliminate thoughts, but to gently bring our attention back to the present moment whenever we notice our focus drifting. This act of returning is where the true practice lies. Mindfulness also invites us to cultivate a sense of curiosity and non-judgment toward our experiences. Instead of labeling feelings as good or bad, we simply acknowledge them as they are. For example, if we feel anxious, we can observe the physical sensations in our body and the thoughts associated with the feeling without trying to push it away. This compassionate awareness often leads to a sense of relief and insight. Ultimately, mindfulness and presence allow us to fully engage with life. We stop sleepwalking through our days and start experiencing the beauty, wonder, and richness that were always there but often overlooked. Through consistent practice, mindfulness becomes a way of life, a pathway to enduring inner peace. Self-compassion is a transformative practice that forms the foundation for inner peace. In a world where we are often our own harshest critics, learning to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding can be life-changing. Many of us extend compassion naturally to friends and loved ones, but when it comes to ourselves, we are quick to judge, blame, and punish. Self-compassion encourages us to embrace our imperfections and approach ourselves with the same love and empathy we would offer a dear friend. At its core, self-compassion consists of three elements: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. Self-kindness. Self-kindness involves speaking to ourselves with warmth and care rather than criticism and judgment. When we make mistakes, instead of berating ourselves, we can acknowledge that failure is part of being human and offer words of encouragement. Imagine a friend comes to you after making a mistake at work. Would you belittle them or tell them they're worthless? Of course not. You would likely reassure them and help them see the situation from a balanced perspective. Self-kindness invites us to extend that same compassion to ourselves. One practical way to cultivate self-kindness is through positive self-talk. Replace harsh inner dialogue with affirmations such as, "I'm doing my best," "It's okay to make mistakes," or "I deserve love and understanding." Writing these affirmations in a journal or repeating them daily can help rewire negative thought patterns. Common humanity. Another essential aspect of self-compassion is recognizing our shared humanity. When we face difficulties or shortcomings, it's easy to feel isolated, as if we are the only ones struggling. But the truth is that suffering and imperfection are universal experiences. Understanding that everyone faces challenges and makes mistakes can reduce feelings of loneliness and self-pity. Instead of thinking, "Why does this always happen to me?" try reframing the thought to, "This is a part of being human. Everyone faces setbacks." This shift in perspective fosters a sense of connection and reminds us that we are never alone in our struggles. Mindfulness. The third pillar of self-compassion is mindfulness, the practice of observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment. When we experience pain or failure, it's important to acknowledge and validate those feelings rather than suppressing or exaggerating them. Mindfulness creates space for us to be present with our emotions without being overwhelmed by them. For example, if you feel disappointed after a job rejection, mindfulness allows you to sit with that feeling, noticing where it resides in your body and the thoughts associated with it. Instead of ruminating endlessly or trying to distract yourself, mindfulness encourages you to face the emotion with gentle awareness. Self-compassion does not mean indulging in self-pity or avoiding accountability. On the contrary, it empowers us to learn from our mistakes and grow in healthy ways. When we treat ourselves with kindness, we are more likely to take constructive steps toward improvement rather than getting stuck in self-destructive patterns. Overcoming barriers to self-compassion. Many people struggle with self-compassion because they believe it will make them weak or complacent. They fear that being kind to themselves will lead to a lack of discipline or motivation. However, research shows the opposite. Self-compassionate individuals are more resilient, have better emotional well-being, and are more motivated to pursue their goals because they are not paralyzed by fear of failure. Another common barrier is the internalized belief that we must earn love and acceptance through achievement and perfection. Society often reinforces this message, but self-compassion challenges it by affirming that we are inherently worthy regardless of our accomplishments. Practical exercises for self-compassion. There are several exercises that can help cultivate self-compassion. The self-compassion letter. Write a letter to yourself from the perspective of a compassionate friend. Address your struggles, acknowledge your feelings, and offer kind words of encouragement. The hand on heart exercise. Place your hand over your heart and take slow, deep breaths while silently repeating a compassionate phrase like, I am safe, I am loved. This simple gesture can provide immediate comfort. Daily gratitude for yourself. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you appreciate about yourself, such as qualities you value or positive actions you took. By practicing self-compassion, we build an inner sanctuary of support and love that strengthens us in times of adversity. Become more resilient, more at peace, and better equipped to navigate the challenges of life with grace and self-assurance. Gratitude is a powerful and transformative practice that has the ability to shift our mindset, elevate our mood, and bring inner peace. It involves recognizing and appreciating the good things in our lives, regardless of how big or small they may be, in a world where we are constantly bombarded by messages of scarcity. What we lack, what we need to buy, and what we should achieve. Gratitude reminds us of the abundance already present in our lives. Many people mistakenly view gratitude as a response to only positive circumstances. They believe they can only be grateful when life is going well or when something extraordinary happens. However, true gratitude is a way of life, a lens through which we can view every experience, even the challenging ones. It's about finding beauty in the mundane, learning from hardships, and recognizing the lessons that come with difficulties. Why gratitude matters? Gratitude has numerous psychological, emotional, and physical benefits. Studies have shown that practicing gratitude can reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety, lower blood pressure, improve sleep quality, and even strengthen the immune system. On an emotional level, it fosters a sense of contentment, resilience, and connection with others. When we focus on what we have instead of what we lack, we naturally experience greater happiness and fulfillment. Moreover, gratitude shifts our brain's focus. The human brain has a natural tendency to dwell on negative experiences, a phenomenon known as the negativity bias. This served an evolutionary purpose by helping our ancestors stay alert to danger. However, in today's world, this bias can lead to chronic stress and dissatisfaction. Gratitude counteracts this tendency by training our minds to notice and appreciate positive aspects of our lives. Cultivating gratitude in daily life. Incorporating gratitude into daily life doesn't require grand gestures. It's about cultivating a mindset that appreciates both the extraordinary and the ordinary. Here are some practical ways to develop a gratitude practice. Gratitude journaling. One of the most effective ways to cultivate gratitude is through journaling. Each day, write down 3 to 5 things you are grateful for. They can be as simple as enjoying a hot cup of coffee, receiving a kind message from a friend, or experiencing a beautiful sunset. The act of writing reinforces positive thoughts and helps you develop a habit of noticing blessings throughout the day. Gratitude walks. Take a walk and consciously focus on the things around you that you are grateful for. It could be the sound of birds, the fresh air, or the beauty of blooming flowers. This practice not only grounds you in the present moment, but also fosters a deep appreciation for nature. Expressing gratitude to others. Often we feel grateful for the people in our lives, but forget to express it. Take time to write a heartfelt note, send a message, or simply tell someone you appreciate them. Expressing gratitude strengthens relationships and creates a ripple effect of positivity. Mindful gratitude practices. During routine activities such as eating, showering, or driving, pause to reflect on the blessings associated with those moments. For example, while eating a meal, you can feel gratitude for the farmers who grew the food, the person who prepared it, and the nourishment it provides. Gratitude in adversity. One of the most profound aspects of gratitude is its ability to bring peace, even in difficult times. Life is filled with challenges, and it's easy to focus solely on what's going wrong. However, gratitude invites us to seek out silver linings and lessons within hardship. For example, if you lose a job, gratitude might come from the extra time you now have to spend with family or the opportunity to explore new career paths. If you're dealing with illness, gratitude could arise from the support of loved ones or the resilience of your body. This doesn't mean denying pain or pretending everything is perfect. It means acknowledging the good that coexists with the difficult. Shifting from comparison to appreciation. Comparison is one of the greatest thieves of joy. In today's age of social media, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing our lives to carefully curated images of others' successes. Gratitude helps break this cycle by shifting our focus from what others have to what we already possess. Instead of thinking, why don't I have what they have, gratitude encourages us to ask, what do I have that brings me joy? This simple shift in perspective can dissolve feelings of envy and foster a sense of contentment. Overcoming barriers to gratitude. While gratitude offers numerous benefits, cultivating it is not always easy. When we're facing stress, loss, or disappointment, it can feel almost impossible to see the good in our lives. During such times, it's important to start small, even if you can only find one thing to be grateful for. A supportive friend, a warm blanket, or simply the ability to breathe, that's enough. Gratitude is a muscle that grows stronger with practice. By cultivating a heart of gratitude, we open ourselves to a world of abundance and joy. We stop chasing after happiness and start discovering it right where we are. Forgiveness is one of the most profound and liberating paths to inner peace. It involves releasing the anger, resentment, and pain caused by the actions or words of others, and sometimes even forgiving ourselves for past mistakes. While it may seem challenging or even impossible at times, forgiveness is not about condoning harmful behavior or forgetting what happened. Instead, it is about freeing ourselves from the emotional burdens that weigh us down and prevent us from living fully and peacefully. Holding on to anger and resentment is like carrying a heavy weight that drains our energy and clouds our perspective. We may believe that holding on to these feelings somehow punishes the person who hurt us, but in reality, it only punishes us. The person who wronged us may have moved on while we remain trapped in a cycle of negative emotions. Forgiveness allows us to break free from this cycle and reclaim our emotional well-being. Understanding forgiveness. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. It does not mean pretending that the hurt never happened or that the offender's actions were acceptable, nor does it require reconciliation or continuing a relationship with the person who hurt us. Forgiveness is an internal process that focuses on letting go of the emotional pain and resentment we carry. It is about finding peace within ourselves, regardless of whether the other person acknowledges their wrongdoing or seeks forgiveness. Forgiveness is also a journey, not a one-time decision. In some cases, it may take weeks, months, or even years to fully let go of the hurt. There may be moments when old feelings resurface, but each time we choose forgiveness, we strengthen our resolve and inch closer to lasting peace. The emotional and physical benefits of forgiveness. Numerous studies have highlighted the emotional and physical benefits of forgiveness. People who practice forgiveness tend to experience lower levels of anxiety, depression, and stress. They also report higher levels of happiness, better relationships, and a greater sense of purpose. On a physical level, forgiveness has been linked to improved heart health, lower blood pressure, and a stronger immune system. Letting go of anger and resentment reduces the body's production of stress hormones, leading to a more balanced and healthier state. Self-forgiveness, while forgiving others is crucial, self-forgiveness is equally important. Many of us carry guilt and shame for mistakes we have made or actions we regret. These feelings can erode our self-worth and create a barrier to inner peace. Self-forgiveness involves acknowledging our mistakes, taking responsibility for them, and learning from the experience. It also requires extending compassion to ourselves and recognizing that we are human and therefore fallible. Holding ourselves to an unrealistic standard of perfection only perpetuates guilt and self-judgment. One effective practice for self-forgiveness is writing a letter to yourself. In this letter, acknowledge the mistake, express any feelings of regret, and offer yourself understanding and compassion. This exercise can be a powerful way to release negative emotions and begin the process of healing. Practical steps to forgiveness. Forgiveness is a deeply personal process, but there are several steps that can help facilitate it. Acknowledge the pain. The first step in forgiveness is recognizing and acknowledging the pain caused by the situation. Allow yourself to feel and process the emotions without judgment. Understand the impact. Reflect on how holding on to resentment has affected your emotional and physical well-being. Consider whether clinging to these feelings is worth the toll it takes on your peace. Shift your perspective. Try to view the situation from the other person's perspective. This doesn't mean justifying their behavior, but understanding the factors that may have contributed to their actions. Release the anger. Engage in activities that help release pent-up emotions, such as journaling, meditation, or talking to a trusted friend or therapist. Visualization exercises, where you imagine letting go of the anger as if it were a heavy weight, can also be effective. Choose forgiveness. Forgiveness is a conscious choice. Remind yourself that you are not condoning the behavior, but choosing peace over bitterness. Repeat affirmations such as, I release this pain for my own well-being. Seek closure. If necessary, in some cases, it may be helpful to have a conversation with the person involved to express your feelings and seek resolution. However, this step is not always necessary or possible. The role of empathy in forgiveness. Empathy plays a significant role in the forgiveness process. When we can see the humanity in the person who hurt us and recognize their own struggles and imperfections, it becomes easier to let go of resentment. This does not excuse their behavior, but fosters a sense of understanding that can soften our emotional response. Challenges and barriers to forgiveness. Forgiveness can be particularly challenging in cases of severe harm or betrayal. It's important to honor your feelings and recognize that forgiveness is a personal journey that cannot be rushed or forced. Seeking professional support, such as therapy, can be invaluable in navigating complex emotions and finding a path to healing. Forgiveness also requires vulnerability. Letting go of anger may feel like relinquishing a form of protection, but in reality, it is an act of strength and courage. It takes bravery to confront and release deep-seated pain in pursuit of peace. By embracing forgiveness, both for ourselves and others, we unlock the door to a life free from emotional chains. We learn that peace is not found in holding on to grievances, but in letting them go, creating space for love, joy, and inner harmony. In a world filled with endless distractions, material possessions, and societal pressures, simplifying life has become a profound yet underrated key to achieving inner peace. Simplification doesn't mean living without joy or abandoning ambition. Rather, it is about decluttering our lives both physically and mentally so that we can focus on what truly matters. By consciously eliminating the unnecessary, we create room for clarity, balance, and fulfillment. The burden of excess. Our modern lives are often characterized by excess, overloaded schedules, countless possessions, and constant digital noise. We are conditioned to believe that more is better, more work, more possessions, more activities. However, this pursuit of more often leaves us feeling overwhelmed, anxious, and disconnected from our authentic selves. Physical clutter, for example, can be a constant source of stress. Studies have shown that living in a disorganized environment increases levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. When our surroundings are chaotic, it can be difficult to focus or relax. Similarly, digital clutter, such as endless notifications, social media feeds, and overflowing email inboxes, bombards our minds, contributing to mental fatigue. Mental and emotional simplification, simplifying life, goes beyond decluttering our physical spaces. It also involves decluttering our minds and emotions. Our thoughts can become tangled with worries, regrets, and endless to-do lists. Mental clutter keeps us in a state of perpetual busyness, making it challenging to experience true peace. One way to simplify mentally is by adopting a less is more approach to decision making. Decision fatigue is a real phenomenon, where the more choices we face, the harder it becomes to make thoughtful decisions. Simplifying daily choices, such as adopting a capsule wardrobe or meal prepping for the week, can reduce mental strain and free up cognitive energy for more meaningful pursuits. Emotional simplification involves letting go of relationships, commitments, and expectations that no longer serve us. Holding on to toxic relationships or obligations out of guilt or fear only drains our energy. By setting healthy boundaries and saying no to things that do not align with our values, we create space for authentic connections and purposeful living. Time management and prioritization. A crucial aspect of simplifying life is learning to manage time effectively and prioritize what truly matters. Many people fall into the trap of busyness, mistaking it for productivity. However, constantly being busy often leads to burnout and a lack of fulfillment. To simplify your schedule, start by identifying your core values and goals. Ask yourself, what brings me joy? What aligns with my long-term aspirations? Then evaluate your commitments and eliminate or delegate tasks that do not align with these priorities. Practices such as time blocking, creating to-do lists, and setting aside dedicated periods for rest and reflection can help you maintain a balance. Remember, your time is one of your most valuable resources. Spend it intentionally. Minimalism as a lifestyle choice. Minimalism is a lifestyle philosophy that encourages living with intention and only keeping what adds value to your life. This doesn't mean depriving yourself of comforts or joys, but being mindful about what you choose to own and consume. Decluttering your living space can be a powerful first step toward adopting a minimalist mindset. Start by going through your belongings and asking yourself, does this item serve a purpose? Does it bring me joy? If the answer is no, consider donating or discarding it. The act of letting go can be liberating and symbolic of releasing emotional baggage as well. Minimalism extends beyond physical possessions. It can also apply to digital life. Consider unsubscribing from unnecessary emails, limiting social media usage, and curating your digital environment to reflect your value. A cleaner digital space leads to a clearer mind. The joy of simplicity. When we simplify our lives, we make room for joy and presence. We become more attuned to the beauty of everyday moments. A conversation with a loved one, the taste of a home-cooked meal, or the peace of a quiet morning. Simplicity allows us to savor life rather than rush through it. Imagine a day without constant notifications, endless errands, and mental clutter. In that space, there is room for creativity, connection, and rest. Simplification provides the opportunity to slow down and truly experience life as it unfolds. Practical steps to simplify life. If you are looking to simplify your life, here are some actionable steps to get started. Declutter your space. Choose one area of your home, such as a closet or a drawer, and declutter it. Keep only what is useful or meaningful. Limit digital distractions. Turn off non-essential notifications. Set boundaries for social media usage. And organize your digital files. Streamline your schedule. Review your commitments and let go of activities that do not bring value or joy. Prioritize time for rest and meaningful connections. Adopt a capsule wardrobe. Simplify your clothing choices by curating a collection of versatile, high-quality pieces. Practice mindful consumption. Before making a purchase, ask yourself whether the item aligns with your values and serves a genuine need. Create a morning or evening routine. Establishing simple, intentional routines can set a positive tone for your day and help you unwind in the evening. Let go of toxic relationships. Assess your relationships and set boundaries with individuals who drain your energy or do not support your growth. Overcoming barriers to simplification. Many people hesitate to simplify their lives because they fear missing out or feel attached to material possessions. It's important to remember that simplification is a personal journey. It doesn't have to be an all or no thing approach. Start small and focus on areas where change feels manageable. Another common challenge is societal pressure to constantly achieve, and simplifying life requires courage to go against these norms and prioritize well-being over external validation. By embracing simplicity, we discover that peace is not found in the endless pursuit of more, but in appreciating the beauty of less. We gain clarity, balance, and the freedom to live a life that truly aligns with our values and desires. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and aware of the current moment without judgment. In a fast-paced world filled with endless distractions and constant mental chatter, mindfulness offers a sanctuary, a space where we can connect with ourselves, find clarity, and experience a deep sense of inner peace. Rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, mindfulness invites us to live fully in the here and now. The power of the present moment. One of the greatest causes of stress and unhappiness is living outside the present moment. We often spend our days ruminating over past mistakes, replaying conversations, or worrying about future events that may never happen. This mental time travel robs us of the ability to experience life as it unfolds. Mindfulness is a gentle reminder that the present moment is the only place where life truly happens. When we are mindful, we become fully engaged in our experiences, whether it's savoring a meal, listening to a loved one, or simply breathing. This presence not only enhances our enjoyment of life, but also helps us respond to challenges with greater clarity and calmness. Mindfulness as a path to inner peace. Practicing mindfulness can have a profound impact on our mental and emotional well-being. When we are present, we become less reactive and more centered. Instead of being swept away by negative thoughts or emotions, we learn to observe them without judgment and let them pass like clouds in the sky. This shift in perspective allows us to break free from the grip of stress, anxiety, and negative thinking patterns. We develop a greater sense of self-awareness and emotional resilience, which are essential for cultivating inner peace. Mindfulness also helps us cultivate a deep sense of gratitude and appreciation. When we are present, we notice the small joys and blessings that often go unnoticed in the rush of daily life. The warmth of the sun on our skin, the sound of laughter, or the feeling of a gentle breeze. These moments of presence become anchors of peace and contentment. The science of mindfulness. Numerous studies have demonstrated the benefits of mindfulness for both the mind and body. Regular mindfulness practice has been shown to reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression, improve concentration and memory, and increase overall feelings of well-being. On a physical level, mindfulness can lower blood pressure, strengthen the immune system, and reduce inflammation. It also helps regulate the body's stress response by lowering cortisol levels, the hormone associated with stress. The practice of mindfulness has even been integrated into clinical settings, such as mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, and mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, MBCT, which have proven effective in helping individuals manage chronic pain, anxiety, and depression. Mindfulness techniques. There are countless ways to incorporate mindfulness into daily life. You don't need to set aside hours each day to experience its benefits. Small, consistent practices can make a significant difference. Here are some techniques to get started. Mindful breathing. One of the simplest and most accessible mindfulness practices is focusing on your breath. Close your eyes, take slow, deep breaths, and pay attention to the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. If your mind wanders, gently bring your focus back to your breath. Body scan meditation. This practice involves bringing awareness to different parts of your body, starting from the top of your head and moving down to your toes. Notice any sensations, tension, or discomfort without judgment. Body scan meditation can help release physical and emotional tension. Mindful eating. Instead of eating on autopilot, slow down and savor each bite. Pay attention to the taste, texture, and aroma of your food. Notice how your body feels as you eat. Mindful eating can enhance your enjoyment of meals and help prevent overeating. Mindful walking. Take a walk and focus on the sensation of your feet touching the ground, the rhythm of your breath, and the sights and sounds around you. Walking mindfully can be a grounding and refreshing practice. 5 senses exercise. Pause and engage your 5 senses. Notice 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This exercise brings you fully into the present moment. Incorporating mindfulness into daily life. Mindfulness doesn't have to be limited to formal meditation sessions. It can be woven into everyday activities. Here are some tips for incorporating mindfulness into your routine. Start your day mindfully. Before getting out of bed, take a few moments to breathe deeply and set an intention for the day. Mindful transitions. Use moments of transition, such as waiting in line or commuting, as opportunities to practice mindfulness. Instead of scrolling through your phone, observe your surroundings and connect with your breath. Single tasking. In a culture that glorifies multitasking, try focusing on one task at a time. Give it your full attention and notice how it feels to be fully present. Mindful communication. When interacting with others, listen attentively without thinking about your response. Be fully present in the conversation. End your day with gratitude. Reflect on 3 things you are grateful for before going to bed. This practice encourages a peaceful mindset and better sleep. Overcoming barriers to mindfulness. While mindfulness offers countless benefits, it can be challenging to maintain in a world filled with distractions. Common barriers include restlessness, impatience, and judgmental thoughts. It's important to approach mindfulness with curiosity and compassion. If your mind wanders during practice, which it inevitably will, gently guide it back to the present moment without self-criticism. Remember that mindfulness is not about achieving a perfectly still mind. It's about noticing when your mind has wandered and returning to the present with kindness. Another challenge is finding time for mindfulness in a busy schedule. Start small, even with just a few minutes a day. Consistency is more important than duration. Over time, you may find yourself naturally integrating mindfulness into various aspects of your life. By cultivating mindfulness and presence, we unlock the ability to experience life more fully and joyfully. We learn to navigate challenges with greater ease and appreciate the beauty of each moment. Mindfulness is a journey, one that leads us closer to the peace and fulfillment we seek. One of the most challenging yet liberating paths to inner peace is learning to let go of the need to control every aspect of our lives. The human desire for control is deeply ingrained. We want to predict outcomes, avoid uncertainty, and steer life in a direction that aligns with our expectations. While a certain degree of control is necessary for planning and decision-making, an excessive need for control often leads to stress, frustration, and disappointment when things don't go as planned. Letting go doesn't mean giving up or becoming passive. It means learning to accept the things we cannot change and finding peace in that acceptance. The illusion of control is often an illusion. Despite our best efforts, life is inherently unpredictable. Circumstances change, people make unexpected choices, and events unfold beyond our control. Clinging to the belief that we can control everything sets us up for constant anxiety and turmoil. Consider the weather as a simple example. No matter how much we wish for a sunny day, the weather will do what it will. We can either accept the rain and adjust our plans or become frustrated and upset even though our distress won't change the outcome. This analogy applies to countless aspects of life: relationships, career paths, health, and even global events. Letting go of control is not about being passive or indifferent. It is about recognizing where our influence ends and choosing to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, reactions, and choices. This shift in perspective can be incredibly empowering and freeing. The emotional toll of control. When we constantly try to control outcomes, we place immense pressure on ourselves and those around us. This often leads to a cycle of stress, perfectionism, and dissatisfaction. The need for control can strain relationships as we may become overly critical or demanding of others in an attempt to ensure things go our way. On a personal level, the fear of uncertainty can lead to anxiety and a reluctance to take risks. We may become paralyzed by the what-ifs and miss out on opportunities for growth and joy. Letting go of this need allows us to experience life more fully, with openness and curiosity. The role of acceptance. Acceptance is a fundamental aspect of letting go of control. It involves acknowledging reality as it is without resistance or denial. This doesn't mean we have to like or agree with every situation, but it does mean recognizing that some things are beyond our influence. When we resist reality, we create suffering. For example, if we lose a job, we may spend months agonizing over why it happened and trying to change the past. This resistance only prolongs our pain and prevents us from moving forward. Acceptance, on the other hand, allows us to acknowledge the situation, process our emotions, and take steps toward a new chapter. Letting go in relationships. In relationships, the desire for control can manifest as trying to change or fix others. We may have expectations about how our partners, friends, or family members should behave, and when they don't meet those expectations, we feel disappointed or frustrated. Letting go in relationships means accepting people as they are, without trying to mold them into our ideal version. It means respecting their autonomy and trusting that they are capable of making their own choices. This doesn't mean tolerating harmful behavior. It means setting healthy boundaries while releasing the need to control their actions or decisions. The connection between letting go and trust. Letting go of control requires trust. Trust in ourselves, trust in others, and trust in life. It involves believing that things will unfold as they are meant to, even if the path is uncertain or different from what we envisioned. Trusting ourselves means having confidence in our ability to navigate challenges and make decisions in the face of uncertainty. Trusting others means recognizing that we cannot control their choices, but believing that they will find their own way. Trusting life means embracing the unpredictability of existence and finding peace in the belief that everything will ultimately work out. Practical steps to let go of control. Letting go of control is a gradual process that requires self-awareness and practice. Here are some practical steps to help you on this journey. Identify what you can and cannot control. Make a list of the things currently causing you stress. Divide them into two categories: those you can control and those you cannot. Focus your energy on the things within your control and practice releasing attachment to the rest. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness helps us stay present and accept each moment as it is. When you notice yourself worrying or trying to control a situation, take a few deep breaths and bring your focus back to the present. Challenge perfectionism. Perfectionism often stems from a desire for control. Recognize that perfection is an unrealistic standard and that mistakes are a natural part of life. Embrace imperfection as an opportunity for growth. Develop a trust mantra. Create a simple mantra that reinforces trust and acceptance, such as, I trust the process, or I release what I cannot control. Repeat this mantra when you feel the urge to control a situation. Journal your thoughts. Writing down your worries can help you gain perspective and release pent-up emotions. Reflect on whether your concerns are within your control and how you can approach them with acceptance. Seek support. Talking to a trusted friend, family member, or therapist can provide valuable insights and encouragement as you navigate the process of letting go. Embrace uncertainty. Life is filled with uncertainty, and learning to embrace it can be transformative. Instead of fearing the unknown, view it as an opportunity for growth and discovery. Surrender to visualization. Close your eyes and imagine holding your worries or need for control in your hands. Visualize yourself releasing them into the wind, trusting that life will unfold as it should. Trusting that life will unfold as it should. The benefits of letting go. When we let go of the need for control, we experience a profound sense of freedom and peace. We become more adaptable, resilient, and open to new possibilities. Our relationships improve as we release unrealistic expectations and allow others to be themselves. Letting go also enhances our creativity and problem-solving abilities. When we are not fixated on a specific outcome, we can approach challenges with a fresh perspective and discover solutions we may not have considered before. Most importantly, letting go allows us to live more authentically and joyfully. We learn to flow with life rather than resist it, finding beauty in the unexpected twists and turns. By releasing the need for control, we create space for peace, fulfillment, and a deeper connection with ourselves and the world around us. In conclusion, the journey to inner peace is not about achieving perfection or controlling every aspect of our lives. It is about embracing the impermanence of life, accepting what we cannot change, and finding peace in the present moment. By nurturing self-awareness, letting go of control, simplifying our lives, and cultivating mindfulness, we create the space for peace to naturally emerge. Inner peace is not a distant goal. It is a state of being that is always available to us when we choose to quiet the noise of the world and listen to the wisdom within. Embrace the journey with compassion for yourself and trust that with each step, you are moving closer to the peace you seek.